Hello to all my successful, unique, and innovative friends, and welcome to the Keys to Success training series from start to finish. And we're going to give you guys exactly what the title says. We're going to help you build a proper foundation on starting a very profitable business to the finish, which is the business we're building it to be a perpetual income source for you guys. So we're going to teach you how to maintain that success for the long term. And this is sponsored by the Marketing Alliance Group, and this is version 2 of this training series. Now you're going to see we're using the exact same slides that we were using to on the actual series that we were prepared to offer to the market for $195. That's the exact same value. Matter of fact, we're going through in this version 2 and we're adding more value, more stuff that you're not going to see on the slides. I'm going to be teaching you guys. So you're getting an added bonus as a part of being a member of the Marketing Alliance Group. And remember, all of our trainings are perpetual. So I hope you've read the Traits of a Leadership newsletter, and have followed the process and come here now. So we're going to assume that you know all that information from the Traits of a Leader newsletter. But let's get right into day one, which is what's required. And I'm going to give you guys the real truth. I'm not going to lie to you guys and tell you you can be successful overnight. Well, uh, that's highly unlikely, and usually, if it happens that fast, it usually doesn't last for the long term. So, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm going to really get down and tell you guys what's required mentally, physically. I'm going to break down marketing for you guys. I'm just going to lay it out, the foundation for you guys, so you have a good idea on what's required for you to be successful in the long term. All right, first of all, here's how marketing works, okay? That's what we're doing here. That's what anybody who wants to make money in the world, they have to market. It's all about buyers and sellers, okay? If you're selling, you're making money. If you're buying, you're spending money, okay? So marketing, if you want to make money, you have to be on the selling side, okay? And here's the three-step process on how marketing works. First of all, there has to be an emotional trigger. An emotional trigger. That's when people first come into contact with you. You have to appeal to their emotions, but not 100% to their emotions. There has to be some logic to it, okay? And personally, what I use is I use 80% emotion and 20% logic. Some people use more emotion and less logic. Me specifically, I want to appeal to the person's emotions because people make decisions based off emotions. I mean, that's just the way humans are. I mean, if you want to craft your marketing different, then you're not going to really appeal to people. But if you want to appeal people to get them into the door, you have to appeal to their emotions, but you can't lack the logic. If you neglect the logic, then you're not going to keep people's attention. The emotion gets their attention, the logic keeps their attention. You combine them together and you have a great emotional trigger when people first come into contact with you. Okay, tell them something that they don't know. Show them something that they don't know. Like like when you guys first came into our marketing funnel, we showed you guys a whole concept of doing business that you've probably never heard of, or you wanted to learn more about. What is this business process that the Marketing Alliance Group is using that nobody else is using, and why is it superior to everybody else's business model? That's what we do on our emotional trigger. Now, the second thing after we get people into the door with the emotional trigger that triggers them to take an action to learn more information, it's our job to not to continue to hype up their emotions and to give them a little bit of knowledge, but it's our job to teach them fully and empower them. Okay, that's the next step. That's what most people fail. They know how to get a lot of people in the door, but they don't know what to do once they get a lot of people in the door. And that's teach and empower people. Okay, that's where the bonding starts. All right, and after you've taught them and empowered them with knowledge and insight, to something that they've never seen or experienced in their life, then the next step to do is to inspire them, which is the same process of how you got them in the door. That's how you send them out. All right, you don't send them out with what do they call that? Like ignorance on fire, or I don't know if that's the term for it, where people are just really hyped up but they don't really know anything. You don't want to do that. That's why this middle step is crucial and very important. All right, and you inspire them same way, the 80 to 90% emotion with the 10 to 20% logic. Okay, I like to call this the 3Ds. You draw people in, you develop them, and then you deploy them. Simple as that. That's how marketing works. That's how this whole system works. Drawing people, developing them, and then deploying them back out to repeat the process. That's how it works. All right, the next step is you need a vision, okay? I told you how marketing works, but you need a vision. There has to be a why on why you're doing something. If you're not pressing towards anything, then that's not going to keep you working at times where you don't feel like working. It's not going to inspire you to move, unless you feel like it. And let's face it, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a job or if you own your own business, there's just sometimes where you just don't feel like doing anything. And if you don't have anything that you're pressing towards that's really truly important to you, like providing a better life for your family, you want to be able to have more resources so you can give away to the poor, so you can start nonprofits, so you can help your church out, or whatever it is you guys desire to do. If you don't have something that's going to motivate you on those days, and have a good thing to do is to write it down and make sure it's plain and understandable so you can look at it. This is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm pushing, on a day where I don't feel like pushing. All right? And mine is the 3Ds. My actual vision is so selfless. It's selfless. If I help enough people to get what they want, then I'm going to get what I want. Pretty much that's the key to success down here. And no plan is a plan to fail, ladies and gentlemen. No plan is a plan to fail. Now let's move on. Number one, you have to be open minded, first of all. Open minded to change. Because if what you were doing worked, then you'd have what you wanted already. I'm sorry, I skipped down a third point. But that's why you have to be open minded to change, okay? And you can't change your situation with the same mindset that got you in it in the first place, okay? So if you thought your way and behaved your way into a situation, you have to behave your way and think your way back out of that situation, okay? Doesn't make sense that you're just going to come out of it thinking and doing the same things. You have to do something different to get something that you don't have, okay? Next, education is a very, very crucial process. You have to become a lifetime student, as we explained to you guys in can't remember which segment it was. I think it was part 5 or part 6, where we explained to you guys the importance of becoming a lifetime student. Because once you cease to grow your knowledge, you cease to grow. And I know you might think, what's the problem with that? If I get to a certain level, can I just be comfortable? No, not necessarily, because what works today will not necessarily work tomorrow. I mean, face it, we live in a progressive society. Things are progressing very rapidly. And not only are they progressing rapidly, but the rate that they're progressing at is progressing itself. All right, so things are growing at an increasing rate. I don't know if you guys picked that up, but things are growing at an increasing rate. So that's why we have to grow at an increasing rate. The more you have, the more responsibility you have, the more knowledge you need. Okay, so those who stay with the trend survive, and we all want to do more than survive out here. We want to thrive, so that's why we have to position ourselves ahead of trends so we can thrive, live in abundance, have an abundance, so we can be able to help those who lack. All right. Now you got to realize this: your business just isn't going to fit nicely into your life like the missing puzzle piece that's always there. Alright, your life is full right now as it is. Before you even got here, you had 24 hours in a day where you were doing something. You're always doing something. So you have to fit this business in there, and you have to keep consciously in your mind that there's always going to be something else you could be doing. There's always going to be something else, and it might seem like it's going to be more important, but you have to I'm not going to say, you have to sacrifice everything, because I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do like some people that sacrifice their families and their marriages and their relationships just for a business. And no, I don't believe in that. But you have to move some things around, and because of time, I can't talk to you guys about the basketball ice example. But what I was saying is, when you apply ice on something, at first it's extremely uncomfortable, but eventually you become numb to the ice and you don't even feel it anymore, and that ice is on there doing its job. Okay, same thing with your business. You have to do it till you become numb to it, and it just becomes habitual to you guys. Okay. All right, realize this also. This is a numbers game. All right, you just have to remember successful people don't stop. They just constantly and consistently pursue their dreams and their goals, okay? Give an example. 1,000 friends, only 500 look at your page, 100 inquire for more information. It's a numbers game. You just got to keep going, okay? Here's the recap, and I'm going to see you guys tomorrow.